Good evening, everyone. I hope that I'm audible to those online. Um, so it's now 5:30, so we have a little bit of a tight timeline to run this event, so we're going to get started and get right into it. Um, Thank you very much for being here today, everyone who's in here in person and everyone who's joining online. Just as a quick introduction, my name is Christian. I'll be moderating this session. I'm working with the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific with the Environment and Development Division. Um, so for this event, this is a side event to the 80th ESCAP Commission session, excuse me, and day 2 of the Youth Empowerment and Climate Action Platform's Regional Dialogue. And this side event will be covering youth-led digital innovations for sustainable development and climate action in Asia and the Pacific. And in this side event, we will explore how Asian Pacific youth ages 15 to 24 are leading digital innovations for sustainable development with a special emphasis on climate action, as well as looking at the role of young female innovators as well. And we're going to start the session with opening remarks from Ms. Hitomi Rankheim, who is the Chief of the Environment and Development Policy Section of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. So thank you very much, Hitomi, for being here, and I'll pass the floor to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christian, for the really good introduction for our discussion today. I would like to say hello to all delegates and to all colleagues who have joined us. It's really nice to see a full room at the end of the day. We're very much appreciating your time. So let me start by saying that this tech-savvy generation are also generators of the disruptive approaches that we're looking for to deal with this climate crisis. This is really important to note, and it's a really important reason for putting the time that we are putting into putting this event together. So empowering youth is central to harnessing digital technology for SDG achievement, particularly SDG 13, which ESCAP's progress reports show a regression in this region. And this can be disheartening, but let's look at it as an opportunity to pull ourselves together and mobilize all our resources. So our partnership with ECAP has helped to strengthen the global dialogue and enrich the global dialogue from national to regional to global levels. And this side event aims to take the messages from previous events forward and to build progress made on regional advocacy. At the 11th Asia-Pacific Forum for Sustainable Development, a concerted effort was made to deepen youth engagement across all of the forum's processes, seeing youth participation from the plenary sessions to the roundtables and everything in between. Another key node of action was the organization of the first APFSD Youth Climathon, which successfully paved the way for demonstration of youth's ability to innovate, as will be seen in the panel later this afternoon. At the APFSD, the Assistant Secretary General for Youth Affairs noted the need for including youth before losing them. Right? That was an interesting comment, especially in technological advancements, including artificial intelligence. Right? Messages from the APFSD and APFSD Youth Forum were then carried forward to the recently concluded regional session of the ECOSOC Youth Forum, where youth stress the need to cooperate instead of competing, another important message, right? And to be trusted with greater ownership over their futures. The session ended with a message that we need to lift each other up, and together youth can carry the flame of hope forward. It also underlined the importance of aligning fragmented efforts and forming blocks of action, really about strengthening our mission orientation. There are considerable opportunities to better manage the reality of climate change in target sectors that desperately need innovations. Please allow me to highlight one sector, agriculture, which is essential for food security and vulnerable to climate change. Revitalizing agriculture to make it economically feasible for youth is essential for all of our survival, right? And it can be supported through smart agriculture and circular bioeconomy approaches, among others, which will encourage youth to join and which need the disruptive power of youth as well. So what support do youth need is the big question for today, right? Having this event at the sidelines of the commission session allows us to engage with government officials who may be online and who may also be in the room. So if we want to know the answers to this question, we need to ask the youth themselves, which is part of what we will do today. On the other hand, we have a responsibility to bring youth together, but also to make sure that they are empowered and provide support for competence building in new skills and space for youth to engage and to innovate. New skills such as foresight, conflict resolution, deliberative democracy, and interdisciplinary engagement need to be built to help navigate an uncertain future of climate change. We know that there are big challenges ahead on the digitalization front with respect to AI's use and misuse, cybersecurity, etc. It will be critical to engage youth in finding the right solutions. It's an honor to work with ECAP. I look forward to the valuable insights that will emerge and encourage government officials and all stakeholders to participate actively today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hitomi, for those very lovely opening remarks. And I really like this idea of working together instead of competing, and really want to underscore the importance of listening to youth like yourselves, and this concept of partnerships, and the importance of building off of work we've already done and building off the work we've done with partners going forward into this year, and forming those blocks of action, as you said. So thank you very much for those opening remarks. And now I would like to introduce, we have two very esteemed speakers joining us online, who will be delivering a talk concerning their work. So I'd like to introduce now Ms. Bui Tan Hong and Ms. Fung Mai. They will be presenting about policies and programs supporting youth-led digital innovations in Vietnam. And Ms. Bui Tan Hong is the officer in charge of communication and international cooperation at the National Agency for Technology, Entrepreneurship, and Commercialization Development of Vietnam. And Ms. Fung Mai is a project manager at the Open Innovation and Technopreneur Institute. So we're very honored to have them as guests today, and I'm very eager to hear about what they have to say. So without further ado, we'll pass over the floor to them now. And thank you for joining at this hour online. So thank you.
Yeah, hello. Can you see me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. So let me share for some slide, because actually we have a two person from our team today, so myself and my colleague. So I will have a share more a little bit. And first of all, thank you so much for having me today. And on behalf of the NATEC, NATEC is a government agency under the Ministry of Science and Technology Vietnam. We are very honored to be here and sharing with you about the Vietnam ecosystem. So first of all, I want to share about the NATEC. And NATEC is a Vietnamese national agency under the Ministry of Science and Technology. And we are fully in charge for the innovation and startup ecosystem in Vietnam. From the June of last year, we have an officer's function and mission to manage the ecosystem. And actually, before the policy, we run the ecosystem more around 15 years. And until now, we are very, very proud to build the ecosystem. In Vietnam, we have around 3,000 startups. And we have the ecosystem with the involvement from 140 universities. And the total investment for the startup ecosystem around the $2.5 billion in 3 recent years, with the highest investment in 2021 around the $1.5 billion. And we are very proud of that. And when I see the topic today, I'm very interested, because the key factor, the first one about youth union, and the second about the sustainable development and climate change action. That is the 2 priority areas of Vietnam nowadays. And we are really focused on the talent. And that's why we are get a lot of the involvement from the university in the ecosystem. So until now, we have one national program called the 844 to supporting for the national innovation ecosystem. And from the 844, we have a lot of the province policy for support their own ecosystem. And then we also have the youth entrepreneurship support program for youth union, have their own the funding and project for the university and for the student startup. And especially nowadays, we have some new sandbox for the new technology in Vietnam. In 2021, we have a sandbox for the fintech. And just last year, we have a new resolution 98 to support for the new sandbox and incentive mechanism for Ho Chi Minh City. So Ho Chi Minh now is the top innovation province in Vietnam. So we try to set up the new sandbox and new mechanism to attract a lot of talent to come to Vietnam. And that's why for the conference today, I really want to share with you some new trends of Vietnam for the innovation and startup ecosystem. The first one from ourselves, we have to open ourselves firstly. And we transfer from the sharing model into the ownership instead of replace the ownership. And we open from the government, from the private sectors, and all the other stakeholders in the ecosystem to engage and attract more the resources. And the second is we are not only attract the investment matching, but we also try to push up all the business matching between the startup and the big corporation and private sector to deal with the challenge from the government, from the province, from the private sector also. And the third trend is about the green and blue economies. And nowadays, we are really focused on sustainable and regenerative economies for Vietnam. And the energy, the environment, climate change, pollution is take a lot of much more attention from the governments. So, and the last trend is digitalization. So that is the four trends of Vietnam we are due for the next journeys of the innovation ecosystem. And to do all the new initiative, we are really need the support from the talent. And that's why we call this the next generation of Vietnam. I'm very happy to see a few very young and talented. Some of them I saw from Vietnamese representative, and we are trying to do a lot of initiative with the university to train and set up the practical education for the next generation. One of the key strong point from Vietnam is the population, and half of them is a young talent. And that's why we are trying to promote. And the second is by the support and collaborate with youth lead, we can call a lot of resources, support for the ecosystem. And we also want to create the knowledge hub and get more the mentorship for the youth. And we are trying to connect between the initiative and solution and technology from startup, from the youth, to connect with the problem owners from the big corporation. Now, that is in Vietnam now, we are set up the new strategy. The core is the open innovation model. That means I just mentioned that two key stakeholders very important for our ecosystem. The first one is the industries, private sectors, and the second one is the institution and university. We try to increase the knowledge basement and the training for the youth and young talent. And one of the case study I want to share with you today is about the initiative about the Open Innovation Hub. We are trying to support for the private sector. They are called the Saigon Investment Group. And we are engaged a lot of university into. And with the two target of the Open Innovation Hub, we set up in Ho Chi Minh City. The first target is the tech sandbox to pilot and test bed for the new technology. We create the terminal to exchange the startup from the overseas and Vietnam. And we are trying to go global for the startup talent, Vietnamese startup talent. And the second target is we're focusing on the talent sandbox. In this one, we try to attract the talent Vietnamese from overseas come to Vietnam to support for Vietnamese government as a new initiative. And we want to create the next generation to manage the innovation ecosystem. So that's why I just raise the ideas and invite one college from the OITI. OITI attracts a lot of the talent Vietnam. And Miss Mai is also one of the talent from them. So thank you so much, Miss Mai, for coming and sharing today. So I stop here and give a space for our college. Thank you so much. Hello, Mai. You can hear me?
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you. I had some problem with my microphone. So can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm not sure if you can see me because I am having some problem with my my camera as well. But I hope that you can hear me clearly.
We can hear you very clearly. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Hang, for your introduction, and thank you for having me today at this event. My name is Mai, and I'm from the Open Innovation and Technopreneur Institute. It is a Vietnam's leading institution in developing the next generations of innovators and entrepreneurs. So as an active member of the Soy Hub, we unify talents all over the world to go to Soy Hub to provide mentorship and training programs. We exchange talent and co-design innovation programs in order to promote the open innovation ecosystem champions and co-create youth-led innovation and solve sustainability challenges. So I would like to share more about the initiatives that OITI is implementing. So you can see on the slide the core values of OITIs and the 4 activity pillars that we focus on, which is education, open innovation challenge, startup incubation and acceleration, and international business matching. So the first initiative I would like to share about is the case study training. OITI is currently working with Nguyễn Tất Thành University in order to build 30 case studies of successful Vietnamese startups and incorporate them into the curriculum. The objective of this initiative is to innovate the learning methods associated with practice and to promote students to solve real-world problems. With this initiative, we implement connection lessons and interactive lessons and workshops with the founders and CEOs of the successful startups so that students can have a chance to have a deeper understanding of the Vietnam market. And most importantly, we aim to develop a culture of innovation among not only students, but teachers as well, in order to empower them to challenge the status quo and to drive innovation. And with these case studies, we will also incorporate them in the next initiative, which is the Ecosystem Champion Builder. This initiative is supported by NATEC and other international organizations such as ADB and UNDP. We aim to empower the local leaders and officers from government agencies, institutes, and enterprises in Vietnam in order to empower them to become the local connection focal point who can successfully implement startup support projects and ultimately promote the development of local and national startup and innovation ecosystem. And in order to remove the barriers concerning scaling and commercializing challenges, OITI is implementing the Open Innovation Challenge, which is OIC, where we encourage the problem owners, typically big corporations and organizations, to raise their challenges for individuals, experts, institutions, and startups to solve. So the unique point of OIC is that we aim to solve the problem in reality. And that's why we deeply engage the involvement of corporations. And recently, OITI successfully implemented the InCharcoal Challenge to find the carbon capture technology, and the award was worthy of $1 million. And we successfully connect InCharcoal with a solution from an institution research in Vietnam. And currently, we are working with international organization to implement climate change challenge. But we can also utilize OIC to solve other societal challenges as well. So we hope that all of the young leaders, the project managers at this event today can also join us on this Open Innovation Challenge and submit your solutions to these challenges. And the last initiative I would like to share about is the Open Innovation Day. It is an annual ELI program that we hope to connect innovation ecosystem components. Here we at Open Innovation Day, or OID, we hold in-depth seminars about green growth and SDGs topics, and students, project managers, and research institutions, as well as startups, will have a chance to showcase their research results and their projects, and network and business matching with the corporations and international organizations and VCs in order to access resources and funding, as well as you can receive the mentorship and guidance from leading experts. So OID is projected to be held in October in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. So we all welcome you to come and also to collectively with us promote open innovation in Vietnam. So at OITI, we believe that the youth is the most important future change agents. And with the power of open innovation, we will together create a better tomorrow. And that's all. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for sharing the great work that you're doing in Vietnam on innovation and startup ecosystems and this co-creation. And I'm really glad you brought up this idea of fostering this culture of innovation, because that's actually one of the key action points that came out of the recent Asia Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development's youth call to action, was really kind of creating this culture of innovation. So I'm really happy that you also brought that up. So thank you again for being here and for sharing with us the great work that you're doing. So now we're going to move now into the panel session. But I think before we jump into that, I think it's kind of late, so maybe just to wake up the room a bit, we have a short poll that we'd like you to take. So if you can scan the QR code here. It's just a simple question. We just want to just hear from you in just one word. What comes to mind when you think about youth-led digital innovation? Like, what comes to your mind? And the idea of this is we want to kind of collect your inputs, and we're very fortunate to be joined today by a talented artist, Moen Lee from China, who incorporates artificial intelligence into her artwork. So she'll be using your responses to create a unique AI art piece that we'll be showing to you at the end of this this session. So I think we can see actually the live. Yeah, there we go. Development seems to be the biggest one. Funding. Oh, he's funding. Yeah. It's always one of the key challenges. Hope. That's very true. Very true. Flame of hope. A lot of answers. Development, inclusion, technology, hope, smart. Creativity. Okay, well, maybe give a few more seconds so for any final responses. All right, so it seems that the main ones there may be hope, technology, future development, funding, let's not forget data, creativity, it's all good stuff. So thank you very much, everyone, for participating in this short little break. And I hope it feeds into a very nice piece of unique artwork for this session. So thank you. So now we want to move now into the panel discussion. And so we'll have a number of young innovators all here today who have done very inspiring work, who will be presenting to you about their initiatives, and we'll also be joined by some online as well. And yeah, so you'll have about 5 minutes to present and to tell the room here and to tell everyone online about the great work that you're doing. So we're going to start with presentation from Nok Queen An Dao, Jiran Fikri, and Noel on Kubakub, who are representing Team TerraGrow, who were the finalists at the recent Asia Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development Youth Climathon, as mentioned by Hitomi in her opening remarks. And they'll be presenting their innovative solution for climate smart agriculture. So I'm going to pass the floor now to Team TerraGrow. So thank you very much. Are you able to connect? Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Am I audible to you?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. So let me share my screen first. Okay. Does this slides you can do you can you can see this slide, right?
We can see, yes.
Okay. So we can start right away. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Wait. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunities. Allow us to introduce ourselves. So we are from TerraGrow. Our group first initially formed a couple months ago, actually in APFSD 2024, with the focus innovation on making technology more accessible and inclusive in agriculture, so we can get more climate resilient agriculture in the future. So, yeah. Maybe we can start with this problem. Maybe some of you have already familiar with this crisis. So this condition, as we know, became really extreme as the water resources became depleted because of this prolonged dry season. And thus, we know that many of crops and plants was failed to harvest during the time. So it's from the El Nino climate disaster last year. And one way to solve this problem we think is with how we can empower today's technology in order to create more efficient source usage to minimize waste in farming practices. Even so, the implementation of this technology is still not quite inclusive for some people. So we found that most of the farmers nowadays face some issues, especially with the smart farming technology. For them, it's still expensive and complex for them to use, let alone to maintain it in the longer term. So that's why we try to build TerraGrow. So TerraGrow is one of the example on how we can empower today's technology to create a simple yet powerful tools for precision agriculture with wireless sensing technology combined with the cloud integration, making the captured data not only can be accurately captured by the technology, but also usable for doing something like creating analysis, action recommendation, or even forecasting.
And our focus is the young generation of farmers who are more open to climate-smart agri-tech, yet constrained by limited resources. So TerraGrow offers a practical approach for them to bypass traditional methods like extensive tilling and monocropping. We target farmers and the local government from Southeast Asia who express their interest to protect the land and reduce soil acidity with these innovations, despite being bounded by geographical and socioeconomic challenges. And three key environmental impacts that we target. So first, water conservation by promoting efficient irrigation practices. Second, CO2 sequestration by minimizing soil disturbance. And third, sustainable land use by practicing crop rotation and cover cropping. And our pilot phase targets a 75% tech adoption rate with 25 farmers using real-time sensor data. So with this technology, a farmer can improve resource efficiency by 30%. But it's not just about it, but ensuring the sustainability of their livelihood by looking into the 20% increase in Community Livelihood Enhancement Index.
TerraGrow bridges the gap between technology and agriculture, offering an accessible and affordable solution for climate action. To deliver the best value for our farmers, which are the targeted user, we have placed a strong focus on tailored training programs, community engagement events, or interactive learning material, and peer-to-peer learning initiative. By prioritizing this area, we aim to create a more collaborative ecosystem where knowledge sharing and innovation thrive, create solutions that truly make a difference and uplift the farmers. But I guess some of you may see the similar equipment. And now let's figure out where you can find us on the market. Next slide, please. We have positioned ourselves based on two criteria aligned with the core value, user friendliness, and affordability. However, our plan is really determined and ambitious. Initial stage 6 grants and cultivate partnership for our product development, and launch after 3 years. TerraGrow expand with new project size in the ASEAN region, and by 2030, we aim to make the solution contribute positively to precision agriculture in Asia. And our team, these are the young people who can make TerraGrow happen. While we share common passion and dedication to research and development, each of us bring unique strength to the table, like Chidan from Indonesia, me from Vietnam, and Noel from the Philippines. So driving this innovation solution for agriculture, we TerraGrow can make our farmers access climate smart agri-tech in the easiest and most inclusive way possible. So if you believe in our vision, join us right now. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Sorry, thank you very much, TerraGrow, for not just staying within the time, but sharing with us your very practical solution application of digital technology, addressing actually two important SDGs, SDG 2 on food systems and 13 on climate action, both under review this year at the high-level political forum. So thank you very much again for joining online and for sharing with us your amazing work. So I'd like to introduce next now our next panelist, who is the founder and CEO of Modus Operandi, empowering underbanked businesses and communities in developing countries. So I'd like to introduce now Teno-san, our very distinguished panelist here. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christian. That's a very big picture of me, I just want to say. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Teno. I'm the founder and CEO of MO, or Modus Operandi for long form, and also a member of the UN Women 30 for 2020-30. A little bit about MO and why I started it. Especially when I went back to Myanmar, I was originally from there. I found that a lot of our country itself, as well as in the ASEAN region, that there are so many underserved communities. Especially doing more research to this, we see that there are about 70% of all of Southeast Asia is actually underbanked or unbanked. And that's a huge problem because from my perspective as a founder, I believe that financial empowerment and financial freedom is an essential part of any human being anywhere. For me, MO was founded in 2020, but we launched our product in 2022. And our mission really is to break down the financial barriers. The question really is, why are people not getting access to financial services? There are banks available out there. There are fintechs available out there. What really is the barrier? And that's the question that we were asking. So throughout our journey, we actually observed that the access to financial services is actually a privilege. And a privilege in the sense that not everyone has the access to financial literacy or has the education on how to operate a business, how to incorporate a business. And these are all the privileges that many of these unbanked communities are facing. So our vision is really to get the financial power to the people. And through innovation, we really specialize in providing micro, small, and medium MSMEs to really provide them with the financial power to scale and grow. So what we do is that the biggest financial barriers, especially when we identified in the MSMEs, is that the lack of documentation and the lack of financial literacy is one of the key things. And oftentimes, MSME, when we look at not only in Myanmar, but in the regional space, they do not have formal corporate structures. And by formal corporate structures, I want to expand a bit on that by saying company incorporations, board of directors, all of which these documentations and letters you would require when you're going to a bank and telling them, hey, I would like to open a corporate account, please. I am going to open up a F&B shop in my neighborhood. And of course, most of these cases, they would be denied or rejected based on that. But from MO's perspective and through our journey, we found that although MSME do not have the formal corporate structures, they do hold some sort of government verified documentation, such as a hawker center operating on the street might have a license from the municipal government to operate that hawker center. And these are still valid identification of a business. So through these verifications and identifications of these businesses, what we have done is taking what they have and providing them access to financial services through our digital platform. That includes digital account, digital money transfer, and we also provide cash management and also access to credit. Credit in a sense of small microloans. So MO is currently operating in Myanmar as our pilot market, and we're able to empower about 5,000 accounts within the span of two years. Especially together with supplementing financial literacy programs. We have it on our YouTube. We also, when we acquire them, we hand out flyers. These initiatives has allowed us to really make a key social impact, especially from a UN Women perspective. We've been able to provide 55% of the business accounts to females. And of the loans that we've issued, we are able to provide 74% of those loans to female customers. And we're really proud to say that our next vision really is to see how we can support economic and social sustainability through providing more financial literacy. And this is one of the areas in which that I would really want support from, and that's really required, especially from a youth-led. For us, the financial literacy piece, it's always better if it is coming from a more organized associations, the literacy piece that's coming, and exactly targeting into what we need to do. And that's the direction that we're headed for the time being. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing your work. And I really like all the highlights you made on inclusivity in your work and providing services as well, as you mentioned, to women. And so thank you very much for being here and for sharing. I would now like to introduce our next panelists. We have here Ms. Sirinapa, Ms. Patsiri, and Ms. Rinrada, who are going to share their work about their work with Crosswork. I'll pass the floor now over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christian. Hi, everyone. Aren't we glad that we are now living in digitalized world where we can do almost everything on our mobile phone? Yet, several teachers across Thailand are being tied up by repetitive works, especially paperwork. At Crosswork Asia, we want to help teachers crossing over to a more sustainable automation, and we have two goals. First, we want to replace 12 million paper wasted per year with AI automation, and we want to give teachers back 11 million minutes so they can follow their passion in teaching. My name is Chin Chin. I am a business consultant at Crosswork Asia. One of my duties is like a therapy. I'm sitting with the customers and trying to understand what their pain points are. During doing this project, we have found several technical pain points. It makes me realize that in order to create change and to initiate the transformation, business section cannot do it alone. We need the dream team. And that is how I picture it. So we need a team of people who share the same belief and are willing to use that specialists together and working together. And now I will let our developer, Yok, tell us of how we do this, how we did it.
Thank you so much, Kun Shin Shin. Well, at first, when we arrived, each teacher have to type up 800 papers per year per student. And when we go there with our AI, now teacher type up nothing. Our AI can like collecting all the data and auto-generate it to a PDF documentation such as student transcript. Yes, and there is more paperwork that we come to help teacher in. And before, I believe that if we want to do something great or create impacting, we need to know really much about like deep coding, advanced software or something like that. But from this project, I realized that it doesn't require that much knowledge to do something impactful. If we ask the right question and we can define the right problem and we take it to we use AI to solve a small problem, it can lead to a big impact. And I cannot say that I'm really good at tech though, because I'm not like the coding guy or that geek like Steve Jobs, but I can still learn this. And I want to encourage you guys that technology is not scary. Now we all can like access it. It's on the internet, we can learn it, and we have to take a heart to learn new things. And for all of this, we cannot achieve this if we don't understand the user experience. So I will let Kun Min tell you more about how we can achieve this.
Thank you, Kun Yok. So when I first arrived at the school in Thailand, I was like the orders of teacher will be like visit the technology, but it turned out that they are an expert on Excel. And it was like, wow. So instead of pushing the new technology to them, I let them import the file, that Excel file, to our system and let the AI do the rest of the job. And the teacher loved it. So I want to say that what I learned from this is we have to ask the right question to the right person and finish the right pain point. So yeah, I want to encourage you guys to study more about design thinking and sitting down, take your time, sitting down with the user and ask them what they want. So thank you.
So here comes the secret sauce. There are two things. First, you ask the right question. And second, you understand your customer. And just by doing so, we can use the small AI to solve small problems that lead to bigger impact. And if you want to learn more about AI, look for us. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your energy and the words of encouragement. And yeah, I mean, I really think, young people have unlimited potential if you believe in yourselves and you put your minds to it and you learn from good people like we have on the panel and online. And, all of you can be the dream team. So thank you very much for the, sharing your work and these words of encouragement. And next, I would like to introduce our final panelist, Miss Moen Lee, who's joining us online. So Moen is a very talented artist who uses art to raise awareness about peace, sustainability, climate action, and gender equality. So I'd like to now pass the floor to Moen. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, I need to. Yeah, let me share my screen. Yeah, can you?
Is it possible to put it in full screen? There we go. Thank you.
Is it already working now? Is it okay?
Looks good.
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi everyone. My name is Mo Wen. I'm an artist, and now I also use AI to call for sustainability. And for example, I will give you some examples about how I use AI AI art to make photos. For example, this is the post-police forest in the Mongolia in China. When I visit there, so I always bring my notebook, which is on the left of the screen, and do some sketch about what I see about the tree and also about the desert issues there. And then I will also use the AI to generate about this kind of the art installations, for example, about the desert issues, and also a flora tree growing up in the desert to call for awareness about the climate action, the climate issues there. And also now I live in Dubai, and also about the climate issues here. So we're also going to, for example, the seaside to plant the mangroves to protect about the land and also the sea of Dubai. So after this kind of experience, then I also use AI to generate some mangrove art installations by the sea, and then to call for this kind of awareness that let's have more trees in Dubai to protect about the climate. And another case is I also doing some research about the ruined cities in the Middle East. And then because of the conflicts and also about the climate issues there, so then I also use AI to generate this kind of the flowers, no matter the lotus, the rose, which is also the national flower from different countries, and to be in a very large large scale size and standing inside this kind of the ruins. And I try to raise awareness about like peace and also climate, nature. So people would like to have this kind of the peaceful mindset. And what's more, I also use AI to generate this kind of the pictures about the pollution, for example, like the air pollution, water pollution. And then I will propose ideas to gallery and also museum. And so we could have this kind of the installations. So because I do see like different stakeholders, we're all using AI and also digital like technology to make the world a better place. And I think like me as artist, and also I also think like I should take the responsibility and also use my art, especially like the AI art, to make the world a better place. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Moen, for your presentation. And we look forward to seeing, the piece that you can generate for this session at the end. So thank you very much. And, it's been very nice. We've heard, from, lots of young innovators about how they're addressing real and defined challenges, often with inclusivity at the center. And how young people are utilizing digital technology and artificial intelligence to address issues of climate smart agriculture, to inclusive banking, to artificial intelligence for efficiency and awareness raising. So it's been very great to hear about all of this. And next, now I kind of want to sort of just pose a general question to the panel, both in person and online. And you can raise your hand online if you'd like to answer the question, but I kind of just want to ask, just based on your experience, what kind of government policies or support programs have been beneficial to you, or do you think can be further supported for youth-led digital innovations? Yes, Ms. Teno?
My startup was founded in Myanmar, and one of the things that was lacking there is really the support like the Vietnamese government did. My fellow colleagues presented in the initial stage of the session. I think one of the key things that's been really beneficial for me, we incorporated our company in Singapore as well. And Singapore government support on startup ecosystem completely in specializing even in the fintech ecosystem has been so beneficial, even not only for as a Singapore startup, but even from a startup coming from a regional perspective. One of the things I found that was very beneficial, especially for a young solo female founder, was the network that they provide. So there's a fintech association in Singapore, which has been an essential part of the networks that I've been getting, the resources that Mo has been getting to grow and to navigate through what we're doing at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Would you like to comment?
Hi, I'm KK from Crosswork Asia as well, from these three Powerpuff Girls. And what we've experienced as we were helping with education was that what really helped us was, as you know, Bangkok has a new governor, and this new hip governor has been really doing something innovative in helping, and that is rather than, hey, youth, go around, solve the problem, and we'll find a way out. What they did is they assigned someone to be a coordinator between that help liaison between youth and the government department. This is a crucial role because we youth want to solve the problem, but we don't know whom to contact and who is already doing similar things to us. And rather than competing, we can collaborate. And what happened is there's a lot of people who want to help with education, but find it hard to knock on the door of the schools. The school will say, oh, you need a permit to come in, you need a agreement, you need official order. What happened is having a liaison in the middle, government appointed liaison to just walk around, keeping track of what projects are there available. Hey, by the way, others are doing the same project. Let's talk together. Let's have a day meeting together online. What happened is we build on each other's idea. We go to school together. We receive a permit. a day permit. We ask today, we get it tomorrow. It's really fast. We can move really fast, get to interview the right people and input our AI to solve the problem. So the door opened really fast and we're able to address the right problem at the right time. So having that liaison position to be able to connect together is really, really accelerate the process.
Thank you very much for the remarks and contributions. Before we open the floor for further questions, I wanted to just give the panel online and offline maybe one last chance if they have any further comments on this question. Or if not, I think we can open the floor then. So online, I mean, you're welcome to raise your hand if you want to ask a question, or you can type in the chat box. And similarly in person here. So if anybody has any questions they would like to ask the panel or any inputs or comments they would like to make on this session in general, please feel free to raise your hand and we'll get to you. Yes, thank you.
I will like to ask the AI assistant team on like how do you shift the teacher behavior from using paper to use AI or your platform? I think that what you're doing is very like amazing.
Thank you for the questions. So as me and our UX UI has said, we believe at first that teachers are actually like gonna be receiving the new technology. What we have found out from sitting down with the teacher is that they are actually they are already a master at Excel. So the adaptation went I would say pretty smoothly when we learned to adopt our new technologies and make it look like Excel. So the teacher has a better adaptation. So if I can conclude to answer your question, I would say that instead of trying to push the new technology, the out of the world feature to the teachers, to the user, it's better to sit down and really listen. Yeah.
Then you can add one more because I feel like will that be like there will be a problem like inclusivity that teacher from like rural area cannot access to technology, but maybe they want to help in like not using paper and stuff. What do you think about it? It can just be like a comment or like your thoughts.
If I could take that question as well, we faced really the problem, and the governor of Bangkok actually sent us to the school with the least technology, in the assumption that if this school can adopt, any school can adopt. It turns out that most of the school, while sometimes don't usually have 1 or 2 computers on site, so they're not entirely off grid. But we have to make sure that the teacher do the least work possible. So that's the first one. The second one is everyone have mobile phone. And it turns out that even the simple teacher from rural area do have a phone that is really smart. So utilizing that to be able to have a daily attendance checking or to allow them to input grade of the student in the most simple way. It turns out that other than being a master in Excel, the teachers are also master in line chat messaging. And so, you know, when we tell them to go to this URL website, go to worldweb.net, they're so confused. But when we allow them to open from line, oh, they are master. And so, as Kun Chin said, build upon what they meet them in the middle where they're already familiar and build upon it. Yes. So so to answer your question, a lot of teachers are not off the grid and the smartphone's already in their hand. The question is how do we utilize it? Build upon what they're already good at. Thank you for the question.
Thank you for the answer. Your work is very inspiring. I will support you as a youth too. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. This is Katalia Hana from NGO sector. So I'm basically from China, but I'm here for India and NGO and broadly for multilateralism and plural lateralism. So speaking of the climate change and also renewable energy, we can't simply skip agri-food transformation system. So out of curiosity, do you currently have any existing AI modeling or engineering that that can be incorporated into the agriculture transformation system for regenerative agriculture, and also to reduce the malnutrition social problems, and also to boost the current economy in broad way. Thank you so much.
I am Pon from KMITL Startup Hub. So like we currently working with the government to develop an AI to detect the pest and like the disease from like the crops. Yeah. So right now we currently developing the application and the line to let the farmer upload their like pen in the crop, and like we will analyze and send them the feedback. And then that is like the part of the farmer, but in the part of the government. So we can see that like where is the outbreak, and we can like limit the damage. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So we're about coming close to the close of our session. So I just wanted to leave with one final question that was asked in the pre-event survey that we had issued to the registrants. And one of the registrants was kind of curious, and I thought this was quite relevant because as we discuss digital technologies, we also have to discuss digital inequalities. And I think, inequalities can manifest in many different ways. And this particular registrant was curious about, in the context of developing countries, and particularly in situations where people lack access to information and maybe even digital technologies, how can you find, partnerships and the assistance that you need to support your ideas? Maybe Teno, maybe you might have some insights on this one.
Yeah, thank you. Especially in a country, an emerging market, it's really difficult to get access to a centralized data source. In the market that we're operating in, we actually don't even have a credit bureau. So how do we actually assess the credit worthiness of the MSMEs? We do this by actually assessing our own internal data source. But what we do essentially is through partnerships as well. So we partner up through other big vendors, such as like a logistic company who deals with a lot of smaller vendors and distribution companies in the semi-rural area, semi-urban area, and we reach through them. So the verification of their business identity, the volume of money that they have with the big distributor, the big logistic company, is really an essential source for us. So for us, from a fintech perspective, where there's no centralized credit bureau, there's no centralized database that we could leverage on, we mainly go through partners, big partners that already have large networks that has access to these MSMEs on the grassroots level. Yeah, I hope that clarifies.
Yeah, I think that definitely adds a lot of insight. So thank you. So yeah, I think we're about running out of time. So as much as I would love to sit here with you all and discuss more and more and more, and it's also 6:30 in the evening, so I think maybe people are a little tired. So yeah, I think we can now move to our closing remarks. So we're joined here today by our colleague from United Nations Development Program, Mr. Jay Mallet, who will be delivering the closing remarks for this session. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Distinguished speakers and all participants joining in person and online today, good evening. It is my great pleasure to join you today to share some closing remarks at this side event. I'm also very glad to be joined by colleagues from the Youth Empowerment and Climate Action Platform, UNDP, UNESCAP, UNFCCC, RCC Asia Pacific, UN Women, and other partners. I have to say that the presentations tonight have been really super interesting and inspiring. Yes, just wanted to say that at the front. So as we come to the close of the YACAP Regional Dialogue and this side event, I'd like to reflect on a few points. First, from Vietnam, the National Agency for Technology, Entrepreneurship, and Commercialization is such a great example from the region, showing that how to foster an inclusive culture and innovation and sustainability by supporting youth entrepreneurship and addressing environmental challenges through initiatives like the Open Innovation Hub, training programs, and connection initiatives. Second, many youth digital innovations for the SDGs are already actively tackling climate issues. The APF SD Youth Climathon's Innovation Award winner, Tara Groh, is really such a great example. Third, the UN Economic and Social Council Youth Forum emphasized the crucial role of youth in addressing global challenges, particularly in achieving the SDGs by 2030. It acknowledged the power of youth in driving change, highlighting their responsibility, determination, and innovative solutions in facing crises such as poverty, climate change, and conflict. Fourth, youth are holding decision makers accountable for the commitments that they make. That's why these events like today's that bring together youth from various backgrounds and places are necessary in order to capture and to share key recommendations and innovative ideas. This is especially so in the preparation for the upcoming Summit of the Future that will take place in September. Lastly, we have to do more for young people. And a part of our response is including them in public decision-making processes. New legislation often does not reflect the concerns of young people due to the lack of representation of young people in these processes. So UNDP's Climate Promise is committed to supporting young people, engaging them to claim their future through proactive and inclusive consultations, awareness raising, and advocacy campaigns, and to create more spaces for youth engagement and empowerment in climate action. We published the On Equal Terms, a checklist for decision makers and practitioners on a youth inclusive NDC process, which is a guide for policymakers on how to have meaningful youth participation in the revision process of their NDCs, which is the main focus right now going up to COP30 in 2025. Through platforms like YOUNGO, we can further amplify youth voices and empower youth to inform climate change action and decision making. Also, lastly, later today in New York, UNDP's next Climate Promise initiative will be launched together with the UN Secretary General, UNDP Administrator, government representatives, and all other UN partners. This will be a UN-wide offer to scale up support for NDCs under the Paris Agreement, and inclusivity is a key pillar of the Climate Promise. So as we look ahead, I urge everyone here to join in our collective endeavor to explore pathways to collaborate with and support youth-led digital innovations for climate solutions, and also implement strategies to bridge the digital gender divide towards leaving no one behind. Thank you once again to all our speakers, participants, and partners for your active engagement and valuable contributions today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those strong closing remarks, and to the end of this session of the Youth Empowerment and Climate Action Platform's regional dialogue and the side event to the 80th ESCAP Commission session. So again, I want to thank everyone for being here today. But before we leave, I want to allow quickly Moen to again take the floor so she can share with us the AI generated piece that she created based on your input. So if Moen could just quickly explain maybe in 1 minute, what the piece means,
Yeah,
and
sure.
yeah. So thank you very much, Moen.
Okay, so can you see my screen?
So beautiful.
Yes, we can
okay.
see very well. Thank you.
Yeah, great. So this is like I just generate these pictures based on the keywords, and this one is about like the hope and also the future. So I just use some like Asian young people and surrounded by like the green, like in a Greenland, and surrounded by the trees. And this one is also based on the keywords like think outside of the box. So I just ask like the Asian like kids, young people, also like holding the earth, the planet, and thinking outside of the box. And this one is by also creativity and also technology. So I think like with if young people, if we could use our creativity and also technology, and definitely we can go to like a better future and to make the world a better place. And this one is based on the keywords like empower indigenous So I also put like empowered indigenous people to drive like digital innovation, and AI gave me this kind of pictures. And the last one is I think like together and with all the young people, and we could have the better future. So I also use AI to generate this kind of like a tree, but in the shape of the planet, and lots of like Asian youth, like young people, were holding it. So that's all the AI pictures I just generated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Moen.
Thank you, Moen, for the beautiful pictures. I think they really, really do encapsulate, the themes we've discussed today, and in a very beautiful way with a very human touch. So thank you very much. And again, thank you very much for all the panelists, these opening remarks from Hitomi, closing remarks from Jay, all the colleagues that are here today, everyone that's joined in person and online, and as well for the first day of the regional dialogue that have stuck with us through the whole event. So again, thank you very much. And we'll be sure again to share these images with you. And we hope to engage you again in the future. And, we're all partners here in the room. So I very much hope to keep in touch. Thank you very much.